Today on For Your Home, we'll explore some design options that will change your point of view. Stay right there. You know you're ready for a new look, and I'm your ticket to get there.
When we're making our windows and doors, and even when we're not, Pella is helping to protect our environment in communities across the country through forest stewardship, pollution prevention, waste management, and other green initiatives. Not only because it's good for business, but because it's the right thing to do. And frankly, it's just part of the way we've always done things. Because at Pella, we believe we're not just making windows and doors for houses, we're making them for the people who live inside. Pella, viewed to be the best.
This is a fantastic view. Today's urban living is one of the hottest real estate trends. As more and more Americans rethink their lifestyles, they are opting to move closer to the city where they can walk to work, shop, and play. We're at the Madison, a hot project in the center of downtown Charlotte. We are directly across from the NASCAR Hall of Fame and just blocks from art museums, theaters, and wonderful restaurants. This week is Speed Week in Charlotte. Thousands of NASCAR fans flock to the city to party and hope to get a glimpse of their favorite NASCAR drivers. It's long been a fantasy of mine to sell my suburban home and move to the middle of the city in a condo. Now, moving from a traditional suburban home to a contemporary penthouse is a wonderful opportunity to throw away everything and start off with a new style. But the big open windows and the wide open floor plan, well, it can be a bit overwhelming. That's the reason I've asked my friend, international contemporary designer Normand Couture, to join us today.
Hey, Vicki.
Normand.
Nice to see you. I'm very good.
See you too. What do you think of the penthouse?
Ah, this is beautiful.
Don't
Such
you wish
a
it was
beautiful
ours?
place. And you know what? With a backdrop like we have here, I mean, we can't miss.
We can do wonders.
It's going to be beautiful.
Well, I'm just going to be your trusty assistant today. You're going to do all the work. Let's get started.
Okay, great.
You know, Norman, everybody says they want a big, wide open floor plan, and then when they get it, they're overwhelmed with how do I use this space?
Yeah, and then they wonder, did we take too big or what? Yeah. The first thing they need to do is to make it comfortable. I mean, to make the process comfortable, because sometimes, and to avoid fights.
Yeah, fights happen when you decorate.
Yes, it does. The main thing is to define the space. I mean, to define your priorities, whether
you personally, not what the builder says.
No, and don't get concerned with the labels. I mean, this is a dining room, this is a family room. You use it whatever way you want. So, if you're a party animal, it will be different from if you're a reading couple. I mean, that likes to read books and have sit in front of the fireplace or play Scrabble. Play Scrabble and get 25 guests. It's quite a different story.
Well, you know, one of the things too is in these spaces is color makes such a huge difference. And a lot of people think with contemporary that they have to be red, bright.
Yeah,
strong
yellow wall, red ceiling, go crazy every morning when you wake up. No, I mean, the best thing is to try to start with a white canvas, like an artist, see? If you can have that luxury. If you don't, I mean, just paint and start from scratch.
This has a lot of color to it. I mean, we have the gray walls, and we have, you know, the black cabinetry and
the off-white also, and the molding.
Yeah, so it's pretty basic, pretty neutral.
It's very basic, yes.
But very contemporary.
Very contemporary.
Okay, now let's say, for example, that I want to use this space. This isn't my condo, but it should be ours.
Yes,
don't you think it should be ours?
Absolutely. I love it.
I want to use this space right out here for my living room because I want to take advantage of the view.
Yeah, which is the main. It's the main asset of that room here.
So this is a big space. How do I make it intimate? What do I do to really define this space?
First, start from the ground up.
From the ground
up?
up?
Yes, the rug.
Okay.
See, so here You have a nice rug. You take a nice size rug, especially for a room that big, so that you can put the furniture. You don't have to put the furniture on the wall. When you have a smaller room, you will. I mean, to leave enough place in the middle. You can float it. So walk around, especially if the furniture has a nice look from all around. This will be the next, next thing I'm going to come up with.
Yeah, the furniture has to be as attractive, I think, on the back as it does on the front.
Yes.
All right, so the rug just defines the space for us, and this is where we're going to focus in on. And you were talking about color. There's a lot of color in this rug. I mean, they're neutral because they're muted.
Yes.
And these are like old rugs that are, this is very popular right now. It's called patchwork, where they're cut up and sewn back together.
Yeah.
And even though these are traditional kind of Navajo designs on these rugs, it still has a contemporary feel to it.
Oh, absolutely. At the origin, they're traditional in some ways, but when you put them together like they did here, it makes quite a different. It's a collage. See, it's like it says a story, and the beautiful thing that I like with that kind of rug is that it gives you the opportunity to put very modern furniture on it and make it a bit more subdued.
But I think we need to point out the fact that this would not work if it was an Oriental rug all one deal.
No, absolutely
not. Would not work. No. It only works because it's cut up and put back together.
Yes.
Okay, so that's one of the tips on that.
In a very creative way.
Okay, so now we've defined the space, and I'm ready for the furniture.
Okay, let's go.
All of you women, I want you to show your husbands that you're not the only one that makes guys move furniture around all the time. Norman is a guy, and did you see how many times we move stuff around? Are you happy yet?
Yes.
Well, finally.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. The thing that I love about this, all of this, and and when I saw it and when I first met you, is the fact that your furniture can be used in so many different configurations.
Yes. Especially this one. This model is called Evasion. It's my last, or one of my last models, and the shape is the beauty of the product. You see, each time I design a product, there is some kind of a feature that I put into it at first. But so this one was the shape. I worked on the shape for, I did a lot of sketches.
But you can change these around. I mean, these
you can
be
move.
Ottomans. They can fit into this little nook here.
Absolutely. You can also take this piece here, put it there, remove this one, then you make it like a question mark. You just remove this one here, you put it there, it's like the dot on a question mark. So you can move your furniture around the room instead of moving to another place.
Instead of the same piece having to sit in the same place forever.
Yes.
Some people, I go into my friend's house and that couch has been sitting there for 5 years. It's not going to move anywhere.
Yeah.
But this is really nice because it's versatile, and especially in a room like this, where all the outside of the furniture is visible all the way around.
So it flows.
Okay, first thing I noticed is all my viewers are going to be going, but the fireplace is over there, and we totally ignored it. Why?
Because we put the particularities of the room in order. I mean, number one is the view, and by far. Second,
so
you know what? Number one is the view.
Okay. So
number two is the view.
Number two is the view.
Yeah.
But for the diehard who wants to look at the fireplace, they could sit over there where you are.
Absolutely.
And they can see the fire.
Yeah, you can even flip the pillow if you want, and you would see it. You would see it from the chaise also.
Yeah, and you can move it around for parties, and it's a great welcoming area.
Absolutely.
Anywhere you want. Okay.
You know what? We sit in this room, and I mean, I feel good.
Now I feel nice. It's not so big and
It's a nice feeling, yes.
And it's contemporary, and it's not empty.
Yeah.
But its room's not done yet. You know that.
Yes.
As the queen of accessories, we got to accessorize.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Like that.
To make it warm, I selected a lot of wood pieces so that it makes a nice environment, especially here. I mean, we're in the middle of the city, but it's pretty natural if you have some imagination.
And you know, I think a lot of people think
and,
that,
yeah.
you know, with contemporary furniture, it has to be like glass and chrome.
Yeah.
Where the wood is, first of all, it's sustainable, so it does bring in that nature inside.
Yeah.
But the forms and the shapes of it are what I really like.
Makes it very natural.
Makes it natural.
Which is the case. I mean, these pieces are, some of them are roots from, like this is roots. It comes from Indonesia. Same thing with the spirals. They are, well, those are not roots exactly, but they're natural wood.
You know, in the painting, it's usually you'd think contemporary, real pop art kind of thing, but that works in here because it has the colors that we want to use, the grays and the blues. It's a real calming look, and it kind of reflects. And what's your favorite thing about the painting? Go ahead, say it. I know what you want to say.
You mean the colors, or?
No, because it covered that big old ugly bit
Oh
that
yes,
you made it up.
I wasn't sure we could say that, but yes, we picked it just to hide that ugly ventilation duct.
And it turned out perfect.
It turned out perfect.
And you know, this way, being able to use a tray for your ottoman, like that makes a nice coffee table out of it.
Makes a nice coffee table.
So you can move it when you don't want it. Or
makes it different, and if you move it, we could just put our feet on. So it's a nice, makes a nice composition.
Well, you know what? I think that we've taken a really contemporary space and we've defined its use. We've maximized the assets in the room, which is the great view that we have here.
Yeah.
All right? And we've hidden the flaws that we had with our air conditioning vent. We had to rearrange things a few different times, but it all ended up working together.
Oh, yes. I mean, it feels very comfortable. Right? It's comfy. It's a neat, nice, cozy corner. Well, cozy. Not that cozy because it's big, but it's a nice place to live. I mean, it makes a great living space.
So to recap on contemporary, when you're thinking contemporary, because we're introducing a whole different idea to our viewers here, is to think about, first of all, starting with a nice neutral palette.
Yes, exactly.
And then add color as you want to.
Yes.
I mean, we could have punched this up with any color we wanted.
Absolutely.
And then think about floating and defining your spaces. Select furniture that has a lot of options to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also think about, you see, like a product like this one here, even with the different, very particular shape it has, is somehow classical. I mean, classical in the way that it's not going to go out of style. See,
exactly.
It doesn't have first it doesn't have crazy colors. If you want to add colors here, you can go with the purple cushions, and then in a year you can change pillows. But it's a pretty classic look with the leather. The fabric is a blend of linen. Here you have foam and feathers, which is not common to that type of look. There's 8-way hand-tied coils inside, so it's very comfortable, very luxurious. Here you have a down blend in the back pillows, so they're very comfortable. You can also
they're not stiff and hard.
No, and you can go, especially when you use the ottoman, you can go like this and really use it as a lounger. Here you have all the sky to dream. I mean,
okay, well, all right,
yes.
Norm, you can lay back and relax and just take it easy, but I've got some other ideas for those of you at home who are not ready to move to your penthouse yet, but would like to change your view. It's all about the view, from high-rise to backyards. Windows make or break a view. Every homeowner always has a big wish list. Some want a greener yard, somebody wants a bigger playground for their kids. For me, it's all about the view. I want to look out any window in my house and see a beautiful view of my neighborhood or of my own yard. This homeowner, well, they're doing a lot to improve their view. They originally had old windows that had metal storms on them, and they're what we call double hung windows. They had mullions, those are the wooden strips that you see in windows at the top and the bottom of the window. The replacements, well, they exercised a little bit of design option. These are their new windows. On the bottom half, they decided to leave the grids out of the windows. It's really more in keeping with their ranch home that they have. I think it's a great new look for them. And because they're replacing all their windows, they could exercise those options. When you start to look for windows, don't just go out there necessarily and replace what you already have. Think about how you could change the look of your house by choosing the right window. This home is a real beauty. It has charm and it looks complete. Complete because it has no bad add-ons, no additions or changes that spoil its original character. The windows have a very unique grille pattern. If you need to replace one or all of these windows, they must be exactly the same as the originals. But now the windows, they're not drafty and they don't have peeling paint. Now these are great examples of the way you change the outside of your house, but did you ever stop to think that the way your inside looks changes completely when you change those windows? Take a look at this breakfast room. Isn't it warm and inviting? You would have never guessed that these were solid walls when the homeowner started out, and by putting in windows now it's a sunny place anybody would want to have coffee in. When you're looking at a room and you're thinking about redecorating it, think about changing your view first. Pick out some great windows and you'll never be disappointed with the view you have from any room in your house. The quickest way to change your view is to clean your windows. Now I've got a big house, it's 3 stories tall, and I'm not about to go all the way up there to clean my windows, so when they're looking dirty, I give a call to Tyler Kirk. He's the guy who takes care of my windows. How you doing today?
Pretty good, a little bit warm, but pretty good.
Well, you know, when you do it, they're beautiful. It changes the whole way the inside of the house looks. When I do it, they're streaked up. So what are your secrets?
Well, I have several secrets. One of them is we use dish detergent.
And that's what you use to clean them, not like a regular window cleaner?
Not that, because dish detergent eats into the grime much better.
Okay.
And so that's the best thing to use. We've used professional window cleaning solutions, but it works fine.
Dish detergent's better?
Any kind, discount stores.
Okay, what's your second one?
The second one is the squeegee. The squeegee rubber is the key. It's the biggest part in cleaning the window. It leaves the window dry, completely dry.
Okay.
Unlike a rag, if you use a rag or anything like that, or paper towel, it'll leave lint. And if the rag is slightly damp, it'll leave streaks on there.
Okay, so that's great to know. That's how you get the streaks out of it. And what about on the inside of the house? Do you use the same thing?
We basically do the same thing. If you have grids on the windows like this, we have to pop them out. You just have to be careful. We can show you later. But this is what we have to take off. And then we just make sure everything's neat on the floor. There's no dribbles on the floor. It'll leave ring spots on the floor. It won't necessarily damage it, but you just have to be careful.
Okay, so you still soap them up, you still use the squeegee inside, and just be careful as you move along. And that's the way you get my windows so clean.
Right.
I love it. So if you're looking for a way to turn around your windows from a grimy mess and you don't happen to have him in your hometown, you can use his tips to really change your view. Large, beautiful windows are a great asset for any home, but when it comes to window treatments, they can present a challenge. Like these windows. They have a great view right out onto the golf course, but the homeowner wants to kind of warm the space up a little bit. We don't need them to function because we have blinds. We're just after a more decorator look. Here's my suggestion. We're going to hang our drapes all the way to the top, almost to the bottom of the arch. That's where our rod is going to go all the way across. Those are going to be some long drapes, but they're going to take advantage of this great high ceiling that we have. Now, in the middle, we're going to bring down a panel on this side. They're not going to function. They're just going to look like they could function. It's going to come down here. Another panel will come through this, and then another one on that corner. On the other end, we have sort of a challenge there. Take a look. Well, the built-in bookcases are built right up against the wall. That means our drapery panel is going to have to be shortened so it just rests on the top of that ledge. It's going to be a great addition to this room. Well, the draperies turned out absolutely perfect, but it's not a job for amateurs, right, Andy?
That's right.
Now, Andy is our drapery hanger here on For Your Home, and I called him and asked him to do this project for us because it was challenging. What did you have to deal with?
Well, what we had, our first problem was we had 4 pieces of rodding that were 6 foot wide a piece. and we had to make that work out with our dimensions. And so there's actually 7 different pieces of rod up there.
And you got them spliced together.
Spliced together, that's right.
Okay, and that's the way so that we don't have any brackets showing.
That's right.
And then we have the support we need that the bar won't bow down.
Nothing's going to bow down or nothing's going to fall on us.
That's an important part
that's
of it.
Right. That's
you know, we chose a really lightweight material for the draperies. It has sort of a kind of burlap look to it, but it's actually a linen. It's very light and airy, which is very popular right now. They are lined. You always want to line your drapes so that they'll last a long time. We chose this color for our drapes because it tied in with the faux finishing over the fireplace and on the opposite wall. So if you're trying to move color around your room, always think about what are some of the other colors you've used in that room, and always try to carry it from one side of the room to the other. And of course, call your professional drapery hanger when you've got 2-story windows to drape.
That's right.
The best way to change your interior view is to spend a little time browsing through furniture stores. I attend the High Point Market twice a year to see what's new in home furnishings. I look for new colors, new shapes in furniture, and creative displays that I can recreate and share with you on FYH. The shows are so large, I always need all the helpers I can get. When you have to make it through 188 buildings to see what everybody has to offer, you better have help. And for me, when I come to market, my best helper is also one of my great friends, Gail Steve. Hey, Gail, how's it going at market for you?
Oh, well, my feet are tired, but I'm still smiling, so I'm walking and talking at the same time. It's very exciting, this market.
I think so, too. And Gail is the author of Right-Sizing Your Home, which I think is a wonderful concept. Explain what that whole
Right-sizing means using your space in your home, reinventing your space, thinking about how you live and making the changes. Many of us don't use our dining room, so why not make the dining room something else, something that you can use.
Like a TV room or a home office.
Or a home office, and unfortunately many of us are home now, so that would be a perfect. If your living room isn't comfortable, maybe where you really live is in your bedroom, so even make it more comfortable.
Okay, now one of the things that I'm really seeing as I move around out there in the market is manufacturers are starting to respond to this trend by the scale and the size they're making.
Well, we're actually sitting on a sofa. It's a wonderful linen sofa from Highland House, and it's actually scaled down. So it would be great in a bedroom or the new smaller living spaces that we're beginning to see. So many manufacturers have heeded the call that we don't need big, we don't need oversized, we need comfortable.
Okay, so we're talking about comfort, that's our story.
That's big.
We're talking about
color.
Linen fabrics everywhere.
Well, this linen is so soft, it's also natural, so there's a good green story, but it's neutral, so you can add a colorful pillow, or you can add a throw, or do a splashy rug in front, and it becomes a whole new room.
And you don't have to spend a ton of money if you're on a really tight budget. Just look at those trends and throw them out. Okay, colors, what are you seeing?
Well, I love this room because it's a color of optimism. The designer,
blue sky thinking.
Blue sky thinking, and I think it's a great bedroom color because you feel soft and enveloped in it. But I'm seeing splashes of, I call it electronic pastels, you know, the Palm Beach look with bright colors. But you don't want a lot of that. You would pick one as an accent. Imagine this if it were a bright green. Your eye would go to it. So you need just one attention getter in a room, and
don't make yourself spin around all the time. Keep it right there.
Precisely. We have dining that is more inviting, meaning we're sitting together as opposed to sitting separately. We're seeing elevated dining. And we're also seeing making our guests comfortable, but maybe reusing, right-sizing that room for another purpose as well.
Okay, well, I still have about 12 more buildings to do. I know you've got at least that many.
I've got at least 12. So anyway, always good to see you.
Great to see you, too.
Thank you.
I'll see you in New York.
Great.
This season's trends were defined by textiles and unique finishes. Small splashes of color on tabletops is a quick fix for any room. Norman and I applied many of these trends in our condo project, floating our furniture, using a rug to add color and define the spaces. We warmed up the cool palette with golds and red textiles. These are tricks that you can use at your own home to improve your interior view. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Normand, thank you so much for coming. This was a lot of fun today.
It was a real pleasure for me. Yeah.
Well, anytime, you're welcome. It's like I always say, great design can not only change your view, it can change your attitude. Join me next time right here on FYH when I'll have more great ideas for your home.
Cheers.
When we're making our windows and doors, and even when we're not, Pella is helping to protect our environment in communities across the country through forest stewardship, pollution prevention, waste management, and other green initiatives. Not only because it's good for business, but because it's the right thing to do. And frankly, it's just part of the way we've always done things. Because at Pella, we believe we're not just making windows and doors for houses, we're making them for the people who live inside. Pella, viewed to be the best.
Do you want to know more about the projects today or our guests? Visit us on the web. You're going to find great behind-the-scenes shots, streaming video, project ideas. We even have an e-newsletter with tips and ideas. It's foryourhome.com.